I'm here. Let's keep quiet. It's high time for some rest.
The Valewood is the first wilderness the player is introduced to in the game. Like any Infinity Engine wilderness, these areas are rife with dangers, treasures tucked away in nooks and crannies, as well as your fair share of characters with tasks or quests of their own. A lot of what we wanted to do with this wilderness was lead the player towards the Gilded Vale, using the characters they meet along the way. By giving the player the option to get involved with either the bandit camp or Naunton down near the south end of the map, it gives the player the impetus to explore the Gilded Vale once they arrive, now that they have acquired a few tasks to investigate. We also wanted to again reinforce the non-linearity of the game by putting those encounters off the beaten path, more or less. That way, if the player wanted to beeline straight for the Gilded Vale and happened to miss these NPCs, they could get leads about them in town and come back to the wilderness later.
Welcome!
How do you do?
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here. Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child? An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Raderick has made it his. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here. Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none but if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
It's usually best to leave the beginning of the game for last. So this area was designed in the advanced stages of development. The idea here was to convey a rundown, bleak farmer's town that suffers from the iron rule of a local warlord, Frederick is the name, whose hall lies nearby and it's also its own adventure area. Here in Vale, it was important to give a glimpse of how bad things really were in this world right away. So I made sure to design the layout in such a way that the tree with the hanging bodies became one of the first things.
Of course.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has the well-being of this village is my... I should warn you, his lordship's wife is with... Whatever. But if you're set on finding a bot, keep out...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll.
It's usually best to leave the beginning of the game for last. So this area was designed in the advanced stages of development. The idea here was to convey a rundown, bleak farmer's town that suffers from the iron rule of a local warlord, Redrick is the name, whose hall lies nearby and it's also its own adventure area. Here in Gilded Vale, it was important to give a glimpse of how bad things really were in this world right away. So I made sure to design the layout in such a way that the tree with the hanging bodies became one of the first things to appear in view when you first arrived to town. Another important buildings to introduce you included an inn, because you need an inn somewhere at the start of an RPG, that's just expected. Places to shop and tinker, like the blacksmith and the mill, and also places that would illuminate background history, like the ruins of the Elthasian temple, which figures in the general narrative that we constructed in the area's quests and characters.
I shall.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
I shall.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Indeed.
Were you looking for some... I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a wrap.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I. Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service. Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire. and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there? And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods. An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale. Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization. I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday. Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places. As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers. Excellent. I shall follow you.
I'm here.
I shall.
I'm here.
Hmm?
There's a couple of jokes in here about the inn's previous owner having disappeared, you might note, and that grew out of our never hearing back from the inn backer. It's all meant in good fun, of course. I had a little poster in my office of the old promo art for Baldur's Gate 3, and while we were thinking of names for this place, they started using the Black Hound as a placeholder, thinking that it wouldn't stick. It ended up getting the thumbs up, and Josh Sawyer asked Art to implement the poster image as a stained glass window on the lower floor. The dog upstairs actually came later. Once we started assigning locations to the various pets, the placement for the black dog seemed fairly obvious.